Okay, good morning everyone. It's just before dawn and we're getting ready to get that early morning light. And if you want to make it as a filmmaker, you need to be willing to lose that extra hour of sleep to get those shots, or you'll never make it in this business. Actually, I'm just kidding. It's like 9:45 right now. I'm just so far north that it's pretty much dark all the time. Though I guess what I said is sort of true. I just said it in the most annoying way possible. Anyways, for me, one of the best things about working in film and documentary specifically is that no two working days are ever the same. Some people might find that kind of change annoying, but I personally love it. And the constant variety of travel and learning are, for me, what make this one of the best jobs in the world. And since for the last couple of months, you've been seeing me make these videos from up here in the snow, I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to bring you on set with me and show you what it's like to work on a big budget doc series in a remote location. So in this video, I'm gonna show you what 48 hours on location with a documentary cinematographer looks like, the kinds of filming missions I get assigned on a typical day, and how we move in the Arctic with gear, and a bunch of other stuff so you can decide if these are the kind of shoots you'd like to be doing yourself. Anyways, I'm almost back at base camp now. I'm just gonna take a second to grab my gear and pack my bag, then we'll head out and start shooting. So right now we're inside the gear room where myself and the other DPs keep most of our stuff, and spending a few minutes in here packing is usually the first thing I do at the start of a workday. I said workday there like there are days off, but actually I've only had one day off since August 17th, but that's another story. For legal reasons, I can't really tell you much about the show itself, but I can tell you we're working with a $10+ million budget and a 3-month shooting schedule, so it's a fairly high-end shoot by doc standards. I'll just say it's a big-name survival show that broadcasts on most of the bigger streaming platforms out there, and I'm one of the 2 main DPs. This is sort of a weird production because we're out here for over 3 months without a break, and that means that there's quite a bit of autonomy and self-motivation involved, which isn't all that normal. A typical shoot might be packed into, I don't know, a couple of weeks, and the director is going to want to shoot pretty much all day, every day to make sure they get what they need on the limited number of shooting days they can afford. On this show, while there are a fair amount of verite beats to cover, we spend a lot of our time just trying to visualize the environment, which is really just a fancy word for gathering a crap ton of B-roll. And when I say B-roll here, I'm not just talking about like slow motion hero shots of people blinking into the sunset. We're doing all sorts of stuff, from placing motion controlled trail cameras to capture wildlife. We're following game trails and animal tracks, hiking up mountains, leaving time lapses in weird places, and helicoptering into the middle of nowhere to get a few sweet drone shots. Anything that represents the physical world out here is fair game, and a lot of the time it's up to us, the DPs, to decide what to focus on. It's pretty cool to have all this freedom and to have the budget and resources to stay up in such a remote place for so long, and it's definitely not something I take for granted. So I'll just finish packing up quickly, I'll get my winter gear on, and then we'll get out there. So this is one of our camera benches. It's really chaotic because we've been here months shooting, so it's sort of a bit of a mess, but I thrive in this chaos, sort of. Nothing complicated. I'm just gonna grab all the lenses I need for the day, change out batteries, and then I'm gonna get out of here as quickly as possible. This might look like a preposterous amount of layers, but when you're gonna go stand around behind a camera for 5 or 6 hours, it gets cold out there fast. It's like minus 15 degrees. We raced across this lake, didn't find the caribou, they smelled us and ran. But in the words of my illustrious countryman Wayne Gretzky, it's 100% of the shots you don't take. Sometimes when you're just walking around in places like this, you know, like in the middle of just below the Arctic tundra, in a place where you can't even get to, there are no roads, you need a boat, and you know, really remote and incredibly beautiful. It's just like you're by yourself looking around, start thinking like, is this real life? This is very weird that people are letting me do this. And I think it's stuff like this that makes it impossible for me to think about doing really anything else. Because what other job would you just be walking down a river in the Arctic by yourself? Why is anyone letting me do this? Why is this a real job? Just the random thoughts that pop up in the middle of the day. Yesterday we saw a big pack of like 8 wolves running across the frozen river in front of the camp. So we're heading out this morning with some game cams, like remote trigger cameras, and I'm just doing a bit of a scout with the drone. But really exciting, really rare to see wolves in the wild, and yeah, part of what makes this job so worth all the isolation and all the physical sort of abuse you put your body through. But yeah, gonna try and find them with the drone or some sign of them, and then put up these trail cameras in strategic places and hopefully get some wolf footage in the next couple of days. Who needs ladders? We make so slippery. All right, so we found, we followed the wolf tracks up onto the bank here just a second ago. It was pretty hilarious watching me try and slide my way up this slanted frozen riverbed. But we're gonna stick one of these hunting game cams on this stump on a straight spot where we think there's a reasonable chance these wolves are gonna come back. In a perfect world, I'd probably love to do, some sort of Pelican box elaborate setup with mirrorless cameras on remote triggers or something, but we can't do that. That's not in the budget, or is it within our ability logistically to go and set all that stuff up. So we're just using hunting ones like you'd find at, Cabela's or whatever store. Buy these things on Amazon probably. And actually for this show, it fits with the whole vibe, which is pretty rough around the edges, and it works. Obviously these aren't the kinds of cameras that I normally use, but I guess there's a lesson in there, which is that use whatever you have, whatever's on hand. And there's inventive ways to get around budgetary obstacles. Think outside the box. Even though this is not the same as shooting with an FX3 or an FX9, it's going to give a perspective on this story that is actually enhanced by its roughness. So yeah, just some tips. I am not a meticulous person by nature, so all of this constant fidgeting and tinkering with things does not come naturally to me, and sometimes it just drives me insane. No one talks about that part of filmmaking. Is it on video? Yes. Boom! Success. I know I'm gonna get torn apart in the comments for having this axe over my shoulder, like it looks something you'd stage to try and make yourself look like a manly person. But I swear to God, I'm actually supposed to be carrying this axe. We need to test the ice. So just let's everyone get over it already. But this is, if you look around, this place is already one of the weirdest places I've ever worked. Look at how strange this light is. It's 12:30 in the afternoon right now, and it's just sort of perpetual golden hour sunset all the time here. The other thing that I'll comment on is for everyone in the comments who's saying I look super tired. Yeah, I'm really tired. I've been up here for almost 3 months now, so it's been amazing, but it's probably time to go home. So we're back at camp after dropping our trail cams. We'll check back in about a week and see what happened. Now we're just gonna go inside and warm up a little bit. You can see I've got the big boy mittens on. It's starting to get really cold out here, so we're gonna go inside, warm up, and see what's next.
Round 2.
I guess we are. Oh, we didn't bring the white cap issue ice clearing device.
Oh yeah.
So right now you might notice I'm wearing fishing waders, and I'd love to play it off all cool like I was just about to go in there and like anything to get the shot, but I actually already fell into the ice over the waders and flooded them. Got completely soaked, had to re-dry all my stuff, fried a bunch of electronics, so it was really clumsy. I think I got some photo evidence of it that I'll post somewhere here. So we're gonna try it again, and hopefully it's not such a big disaster. Almost went in and soaked the entire Ronin. All these ice shards that have formed on the river are really beautiful, and as soon as it snows, they're gonna be gone forever. So wading into the water, shooting some long lens stuff. Hopefully don't tank the entire camera. Oh, hi there. Just another Tuesday here at YouTube Studios.
Bet you're wondering what I'm up to.
Should I do a fake one? Oh, hello there. I can't do it. I can't even fake it.
I'll take that. Take the lens cap unless you want. It's definitely going in the water.
Oh, for the algorithm. All right, in all seriousness, a big part of my job on this show is to visualize the natural environment, and for whatever reason, all of these ice shards have sort of forced as the river flash freezes overnight. And in 2 days, it's gonna snow, so all this stuff is gonna be buried, and we'll pretty much never see it again. So it's sort of like a full-on scramble where we've got all the DPs out here flying drones and shooting and setting up sliders and doing everything to capture this before it's all gone. Because sometimes these moments are gonna pop up and you maybe have other things to do, or you don't feel motivated to get out, but they're never gonna happen again. Today I have other stuff to do. I'm trying to finish an edit, but this has to be shot because it's gonna disappear and it's super important. So, wearing fishing waders and kneeling in an ice bath for the last 15 minutes, but hopefully it's worth it. Or maybe it's not worth it. Maybe they're not gonna use the shots at all, and it's all a waste of time, but you still gotta try. So one thing about being a doc DP on like really long shoots is that there's no one standing over my shoulder like telling me what to do on a day-to-day basis. It's not like people have the time or the energy to like supervise and direct me all the time. Maybe. 2 minutes out. Oh god. Helicopter's coming in. So a lot of freedom, and you need to really be self-motivated to make sure you're still getting the stuff you need. No one's telling me to do this. I've just sort of decided this is gonna be my afternoon project. So we're out here shooting it. And actually you can hear the helicopter coming in. I'm guessing the mic is picking that up, but there's a helicopter landing, and then pretty shortly we'll jump in and we'll move off to our next location, which is a little deeper down the river system. All right, so we're just about to start the first mission of the day. Even though it looks like it's 6 o'clock in the morning right now, it's actually almost 10:30, just way up north, so it's dark forever. We are heading across the ice to try and get a couple of shots that the director has sort of dreamed up. So we've got our trusty safety consultant over here drilling the ice, make sure it's okay. I'm gonna walk across the river and then try a whole bunch of things like sliders and gimbals and maybe a time lapse or something to show these ice sheets. Well, this backpack is way heavier today. I'm gonna fall for sure, man.
Please don't hurt yourself.
Oh, I think he's done it. All right, he's done it.
Nice.
Success. So the safety guy said it was mostly safe to cross this river as long as we stay far enough apart. So yeah, we're just heading over to do these ice shots now. To me, this is like one of the best possible things about this job. Where else do you get to, like, where is this the morning walk to work, crossing this random Arctic river? I absolutely love it. The whole reason we're out here is just to go shoot this one hypothetical ice shot that someone dreamed up. Is this a real job? I don't know. All right, so the ice just made super concerning sounds, and I've done really well so far, not falling and embarrassing myself, so I'm gonna try and fit. Oh, we're on another thick ice sheet. I'm gonna try and stick the landing and get out of here without falling. I'm constantly putting down gimbals and Ronins on this channel. It's become like kind of like a meme of mine almost, but I do use them. So today we're gonna try and use this Zpon micro slider to get some shots looking up under the ice. This thing is definitely not designed to function in an environment like this. It's for everyone who gets upset every time I talk badly about gimbals and Ronins and things like that and sliders. The point isn't that they're bad tools. They're great. I'm just saying don't overuse them. Use them when needed, but sparingly. Do not fall down that hill.
Pretty much.
Pipe down.
Alright, I'm passing this down.
Probably. I don't know. I still think this slider sounds exactly like C3PO playing the flute. Yeah, there you go.
Gotta watch your demos.
I think it looks cool.
I think it looks good.
Maybe turn the light down like 15%.
Okay. I thought 60.
Yeah, hit it. Put it at, what was it? Were you 100
Yeah.
at first? Do it at like 75. Flying it in. Here we go. Okay, we'll roll it back. It's probably gonna stutter like crazy. I think that's pretty cool. Let's try one more version.
Alright.
Put the light on this, or get the one on the stick.
Yep.
Put it at like 6,000 K. And point it like here. Okay.
I
yeah.
can't really go.
Slide back towards yourself. Okay, yeah, there. All right, so we're gonna shut it down for the ice shots. I think some of them worked all right. Some of them were better than others, and overall is worth it. We're gonna go back to camp across the river, eat some lunch, and then we're gonna go out for the next mission, which I think is to look for a moose. Maybe on foot, maybe we'll get a flight with the helicopter, depends on whether or not the cloud's clear. Been chasing this moose down for a long time, and we think we finally figured out where they're living with the drone. So we're gonna hike in there and see if we can get some on the main camera with the long lens. Slippery where, Kel? All right, lunch is over. Now we are heading up the frozen river. We're gonna look for a moose. We saw it with the drone a couple times. There's a whole family of them. It's about 3 kilometers away, we think. So we're gonna walk up there and see if we can possibly get one on the main camera. We're about 3 kilometers away now, and we came off of the river to check out this lake where we thought we'd find the moose. We just flew the drone a little bit, didn't see it, so we're gonna go back to the river, go another, I don't know, kilometer or something up, fly the drone again, and then maybe have to turn back. But first attempt didn't go well, so we're moving on. All right, we're super close to the camp. We didn't get the moose in the end. We did another flight. We walked another kilometer or so, but didn't see anything on the drone. So it's getting late, it's getting dark, so we're gonna head back. Kind of disappointing, but that'll happen. Like if you're gonna go out and try and find shots, you can't necessarily plan everything. So you just have to make time for failures. You know, we spent 5 hours today looking for this potential moose shot, and probably if you look at the days before where we've also scouted for this moose and planned for today, then it's probably more like, you know, 10-15 hours just trying to lead up to one great shot of a moose, and we didn't get it. Lots of good drone stuff, but nothing on the main camera, and that just happened. So whatever, we'll get up and try something else tomorrow. Didn't work today, but it will. Crossing back over the frozen river, and that's probably the end of the missions for today. Every once in a while here you can just hear it crack and ping underneath, which is really disorienting, but it's like 5 inches thick, so it's totally safe. Pretty wild though. All right, so it's the end of the day and we're back in the gear room. Just found out that one of the FS7s we were using got damaged and is not going to be usable for shooting anymore. So I'm just going to spend the last little bit of today building out another camera. It's pretty dirty, but we're going to get it out and get it ready just in case we need it. Can't be without backups. It's a good lesson. I know that everyone doesn't have the luxury of having multiple cameras, and you know, I get that, that's totally fine. But you know, when you start to get up into a higher, more professional level where there are stakes, like starting to think about having a backup around is a really good idea, because you can get into situations like this. We've been out here already for almost 3 months now. You can probably tell, like, I've been watching these videos for the last couple of months. I probably look more and more haggard the longer this goes on. It's been quite a while, and the gear is showing the wear and tear just as much as we are. Yeah, try and build up redundancies and backups. And another thing is always travel with a cleaning kit. I think I've talked about this a couple of times. Just some basic stuff in here. Tools, yeah, I'm not gonna do a full tour now, but get cleaning stuff together so that way when your gear gets dirty, you can clean it off and then get back to using it. So that's kind of what it's like to spend a couple days like on set with me up here in the Arctic. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks or so, I'll be going back home, make these videos in a bit more of a controlled environment, but that's more or less how we've been rolling out here, and yeah, I hope you all liked it. See ya.
Go for it. Change it up. Give her a root.